Okay, so good morning. So we did an activity last Friday. So anyone would like to share what have you learned from Friday's activity? Shall we start with the learning outcome? Let's see if we have met the learning outcome. Again, Jessie. Please make it louder.
Apply the universal wave equation to explain and predict the behavior of waves.
Okay, anyone would like to share what did we do? Yeah, fine.
I logged in the website and to figure out the relationship between the wavelengths and the frequency in the wave.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, it is decreasing current line.
Yes.
So what does it indicate? What does it indicate when the line is curve decreasing? What does it mean?
When the wavelengths decrease
Mhm.
and the frequency will
So what relationship is that?
is universally proportional.
Okay, so we can say that the frequency and the wavelength is inversely proportional with each other. That's why you have that kind of graph. Okay, it formed a straight line stepping and sloping upwards, right? Then I asked you to get the slope of the line. Okay, let me see. What value did you get, Jessica? What value of the slope?
The slope is 0.057.
0.57. Gary, what's the slope of your line? 0.06. Florence, how about you? What is the slope of the line?
6.2.
So you're using the centimeter. Okay, if you notice, you almost have the same value because you all use the same medium of the wave. Okay, so it means that when the wave travels in a certain medium, the speed is constant. Okay, when the speed is constant. Then look at your graph. Look at your table. You were asked to calculate for the speed, and that's using the wave equation, right? Okay, as you can see, all your values are closer to what value? 0.06, which is closer to your slope of the line. So that would justify your answer in number 4, right? You were asked, what does the slope of the wavelength versus the inverse frequency graph represent? What's your answer?
It represents the wave speed.
It represents the wave speed. So as you can see, it's constant. Even your slope is constant. So that means that that represents the wave speed. Okay. Now, you should state the relationship of frequency and wavelength. And so with what? The wave speed as the slope of the wavelength and the reciprocal of the frequency. Okay? Now, I want to hear from you guys. What have you learned from this activity? What have you learned from this activity? Come on. From this one, from this activity. This is about standing wave, right? So what have you learned from this? Yes, Klein?
There is a standing wave with more frequency, and there will be more empty notes.
Oh, so if there are more frequency, there are more antinodes. Okay, thank you so much. What else? Yes, Vinny?
There are more frequency.
Oh, it's okay.
There will have more wave.
So more frequency, more wave. Thank you so much. Because as we define frequency as the number, again, what is frequency by the way? It's about what?
Many are produced within 1 second.
Yes, it's about how many waves are produced in a period of time. So that's why if you notice when the frequency is high, there are more number of waves. So some more. What else? This is about standing wave. Okay, this is about standing wave. Now, by the way, to create a standing wave, what are the things should we consider? There should be no damping. Because if there is no damping, the amplitude will be the same, right? If you notice, there were two fixed, and the other end is fixed. So therefore, when you created the wave, okay, there are waves that are also the other wave will be reflected and inverted, right? And inverted. So if it's inverted, then they create what? A steady, and if you notice, there are no nodes that are formed in a very specific location, and it won't change, right? Okay, it would change in a specific frequency. Okay, here. Now, as you can see here in our in the graph we have on the board. So, this is the length, right? This is the length. So the probability of getting one antinode is forming what? What's this? Half a wavelength. Do you agree with me? Okay? But make it sure that both ends are fixed. Okay? Both ends are fixed. When the probability of getting, of forming a wave is having what? Having two ends which is fixed and nodes, and will form one antinode at the middle. So it means to say, what? To form one full wavelength, we need twice of the length. The same thing when the same length, having two antinodes is what? One full wave. Okay? One full wave. This is the wavelength. And so the wavelength is equal to what? If that's the length, and it formed two antinodes, and that's one full wave. So what is the wavelength? The what? The wavelength is just equal to what? The length of the string. Yeah, right? The length of the string. Did you get me? Okay? The wavelength is just the full length of the string. Now here, when there will be three antinodes formed, how long is one wavelength? If there are three antinodes, how long is the wavelength? If there are three antinodes, see? In one full length, right? There are two antinodes. How long is the wavelength? Do you know what is it? You know what is wavelength, right? Again?
The string line divided by 3.
And then?
And then?
Is this a wavelength? Is this a wavelength?
No. No.
Which one is the wavelength?
I think this one it should be there are two crease points between two crease points.
Between two crest points. So you mean this?
No. Like 2A.
2A. I mean this?
No.
This is not the same length, right?
From the start of the
From the start until
the lowest point.
if we will start from here, where is the one full wave?
Second point.
This one? Here, right? So if we will start from here, if the wave will start from this point, this is the one full wave.
Yeah.
So what is the equivalence of one wavelength if this is L?
4
So that is 2/3 of the length. So that's why we have it here. One wavelength is 2/3 of the length. So this is how it looks like. Because I want you to understand this part so that you don't need to memorize all of this. If you do understand this, definitely you will understand, let's say for example, if I will ask you, how or what is the wavelength or the frequency of let's say, first overtone or the third harmonics. So it should start with what? Okay, having one antinode, two antinodes, and three antinodes. Okay, so since we have learned about the wave equation again, which is V is equals to lambda and F, am I correct? So using this one, using this formula here, and we have learned that for the first diagram we have here, our F1 will be like V over 2L. Correct? Because this wavelength is equals to 2L. Okay? So, let's say we'll do the second one. F2 is what? V over L. Because the wavelength is just L. Did you get this? And how about for the third one? So we have V over what? 2/3 of the L. So it's just plug in the value of the lambda. Just plug in the value of the wavelength. Okay? Just plug in the value of the wavelength. Alright? Now here, what is our F1 again? F1. F1 is V over 2L. Right? Now, how many F1 are there in F2? How many F1 here? This is F1. How many F1? Double. Twice of this will make F2, right? That's why we have 2 here. So it means F2 is equal to 2F1. Twice. That's why a while ago, when this is 0.4, what's the next? 0.8. Okay? So how many F1 is 3V over 2L? Definitely this is 3. Okay, so this will justify your activity, right? F3 here is 1.2, which is 3 times 0.4. Okay, now here, this is how we name them. Okay, let's start with the fundamental frequency. This graph having one antinode, is we name it as fundamental frequency. So if you will use the word fundamental frequency, the rest is overtone. Okay? So fundamental frequency, and then first overtone, second overtone, third overtone, fourth overtone, and so forth. But if I will name this, or I will use harmonics, let's say first harmonic, when I say first harmonic, I am referring to the fundamental frequency. And first harmonic is what? Is the F1. Second harmonic is the F2, which is equivalent to what? First overtone. Okay? Again, for the third harmonic, having 3 factors of F1 is the second overtone. So, please get familiar in how we name them, because if I will ask you, like, what is the frequency of a wave having a fundamental frequency of 20 hertz, and would you please give me what would be the frequency when it's in fourth harmonics or third overtone? Okay, so you should know that they are factors of one whole number, right? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, any questions so far? Okay, I'll give you time to copy it. If you have some more clarifications, you can just come over. Okay, here, I'm going to give you some some example problems, and you can do this by partner. So I will give you different questions, and later on, you will be the one to, okay, you will be the one to explain your answer to your classmates. Okay? So Okay, so let's start working on with the sample problems. So we'll first start with the wave equation topic, and let's see. This is part of the outcome wherein we need to apply the universal wave equation to explain and predict the behavior of the wave. So this is our outcome, right? So let us start with the first example problem. So please.
Calculate the frequency range. Calculate the frequency range of a radio receiver which is able to operate on a waveband between 10 meters and 95 meters. The speed of the radio waves in air is 3 times 10^8.
According to the question, the ground will like that. And the distance is 0.6 meters. And that's not the whole wave. So when we want to get wavelength, we should know the situation like that. At that time, it's the fundamental frequency. So the wavelength equal to 2 plus of this. So it should be 1.2 meters. For the second question, if we know the wavelength, it's easy because we can use the formula to multiply the wavelength by the frequency. And the result will be 552 meters per second. For the question 3, it means it transporting to the air to make sound. The medium just changed, but the frequency is constant. And we know from past study the speed of the velocity of the air is 240 meters per second. And
listen, you need to look at the blackboard. One of the wave have also one reflected wave, and there are each antinode in a wave. So in a reflected wave and a wave, we have two antinodes. Okay, thank you.
So I guess we can continue tomorrow. Yeah, so prepare for tomorrow, okay?